Hey folks, Rob Daniels here for the movie, TV, and video game soundtrack program Visions in Sound. I can be found every Saturday morning, 12 to 2 a.m. on FM 98.5. And if you're looking for me, if you miss a show, hey, it does happen. You can also find me on my website, visionsinsound.ca. Well, here we are. And you know what? I'm doing something a little different this time. I'm going to be talking about, let me put it to you this way. Every year, Amazon Music puts out this personal playlist of your top listens of the year. So what I decided to do, and one of the big questions I do get asked, is one, where do I find the time to listen to all the soundtracks? And two, do I listen to anything other than soundtrack music? And the answer would be, yes, I do. And it'll show up on this list. But at the same time, a lot of it is soundtrack adjacent. So something I'll hear in a TV show or something I'll hear on it shows up that way. It shows up that way. So instead of going through all 50, which I'm not going to do, what I'm going to do is choose the top 10. And the top 10 of this year are very interesting. They're an eclectic bunch, and they kind of cover, it's interesting to note that in this top 10, there are no just instrumental cues. All of them have a vocal element to them. And I'll leave it at that. So, sit back, as this year I'm going to be talking about my top 10 listens on Amazon Music. Here we go. All right, number 10. Something that I often do is when I get when I want to do a feature on a soundtrack, which I did earlier this year on a 1984 Metropolis, I go through it a lot. And one of the songs off of that particular album is Billy Squier's On Your Own, which is actually written by Giorgio Moroder and Billy Squier. But regardless of that, it's a song that I like to listen to, and I've listened to constantly because obviously, since it's number 10, it showed up on the list. Number 9 should come as no shock to anyone. I am a huge fan of the show Final Space. So this song constantly pops up on lists of soundtracks that I want to listen to. This is Gallows, and this is done by Shelby Merry. So Hugh, play the good stuff.
Spend a year out in the desert, spend a year out in the sea, spend my nights under the stars, just dreaming of sleep. Asked a question where I've been, I don't know where I will go. I just look up to the skies like there's a sign that I didn't see, I didn't know.
Number 8. This year, I lost my buddy. In my 18-year-old buddy cat, Gimli. He was my companion. He would sit on my shoulder, and he would be constantly there when I would do interviews and that sort of thing. So he will be sorely missed. And I did a little tribute video for him. It's on my website if you're interested. But the song that I chose was from The Road to El Dorado, and the song is Friends Never Say Goodbye.
That fought me and taught me that friends never say goodbye. Never say goodbye. Never say goodbye. Never say goodbye.
7, like I said, when I choose a soundtrack that I want to feature, I will often go through the entire soundtrack several times. And one of the songs off of here became a favorite of mine, and it still is. And that's Sin City by Meredith Brooks. Now, if you're not familiar with Meredith Brooks, she's done a few songs over the years, specifically a song called Bitch. And so that's what she's known for. But in this case, the song is Sin City. It fits perfectly with the film and is a perfect end to one of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies.
Out the door, you get burned. There is no way back in. You got nothing. Snake eyes, a house always wins. A drowning man just knocked out silently. You can feel the final warning and the black money follows through the veins of the shallow. Change the name to protect the guilty. You'll never leave Sin City, where you are king.
So number 6. This is the first kind of non-soundtrack song that I've chosen. And it'll all become clear when I talk about the next track. But this one here is called Burn. I would describe it as sort of a torch song, as the kind of thing that you'd play when you're feeling like that you've been jilted by a lover or something like that. Just have a listen to this. This is Tara Lee from her album Noir. This is called Burn.
So burn baby, burn baby, burn baby for me. 'Cause what you said, what you promised me, it's a chapter in history. Yeah, my baby's laying, and my heart's done trying, because you left me here dying.
All right, number 5. Again, no shock here, but Tara Lee shows up again. And in this case, this time it is actually from a soundtrack of sorts. This, I believe, started the 3rd or 4th season of a British series called Jack Taylor. And if you haven't seen Jack Taylor, it is a very interesting series. Kicks off beautifully. And again, this particular song doesn't get incorporated until like much later in the series. But when the first time I heard it, I thought it fit perfectly, and it's a great song on top of that. Again, Tara Lee's If I Burn, You Burn Too.
Sitting here in this dark room, think it's clear where we've come to. Said, well, are you happy now? I've got you, no one's around. Cry your eyes out, honey, 'cause all hope is lost. Got the secret in my pocket, fire a warning shot. I wanna see you beg, wanna see you grow. Tell me, who's that pretty little face that you gonna call? He stares at me, I regret this fool. Said, baby, if I burn, you burn too.
All right, again, this should come as no shock, but Bear McCreary is on my list this year. And this is actually more of a spoken word track. This is one of the interstitials in Bear McCreary's album Singularity. But it speaks to me, and I played it a lot because it speaks to me. So have a listen.
What you do, how you are, it is creative. I want you to know that I love that about life, about you. You twist and expand and combine in ways that I can never predict, no matter how many times I watch it unfold. It's all quite beautiful, but temporary. None of the shapes hold. Nothing lasts. You simply cannot sustain it. Which isn't a problem, except that somebody has to clean up the mess. I have never asked to be thanked for this work, but in return for my service, I do have one request. Let yourself feel it. Embrace the fear that you've all been running from all along, the fear that everything will be taken, that all must end, the fear that I am truly, fundamentally inevitable. Then look into my eyes, so that in your last moment here you may know the truth. Your fear is correct.
Okay, number 3. Number 3 is a non-soundtrack track that I play all the time. And I wanted to learn to play it on ukulele. And I didn't get a chance to learn it well enough in time for Halloween, because I wanted to do a Halloween playing of this song. So this is The Boys Timothy. It is a song about 3 guys that get trapped in a mine and only 2 come out at the end. And if you know the song, you know the song. So there's that. So have a listen. This is Timothy. This I first heard on the YouTube show One Hit Wonderland by Todd in the Shadows. Okay, number 2 is one of those songs that is soundtrack adjacent, although it was in an actual TV series. Designated Survivor was a series that I watched, and there are certain moments in it where it really tugs on the heartstrings. And in this case, the song by Turin Breaks, Save You, is one of those songs. I actually did play it on ukulele earlier this year. I miss my wife, Dorothea. And that really this song really makes me think about her and those that we've lost along the way this year. Save You by Turin Breaks.
Tired eyes, maybe you've seen too much. Tired heart, every end has a start. If you find yourself in trouble, falling off the track, would you come back? Would you come back? Would you come back? Time will save you. You don't need to save yourself.
Number 1. Now, number 1 should come as no shock to anyone, as it is a Bear McCreary track. This is the final track off of his Singularity album. It spoke to me from the minute I heard it. Tears for the Dead Life. And if you're not familiar with the album Singularity, please check it out. You will not be disappointed. Trust me. This is one of those albums that it's not specifically soundtrack, but again, soundtrack adjacent.
It's the end of an era. It's the end of an old age. And I cannot find my breath at all. In a dream I could fly through the echoes of past lives, as I watched each one succumb to death. Tears for the dead light, heart cry for the new day, as the old falls down and the new rises up.
First of all, I'd like to say, please like, share, and subscribe, and find out what your own 2025 most listened to playlist is. Interestingly enough, and I'm going to add this little tidbit here, about 50% of the tracks that were on the 50 most listened to were soundtrack related. So think about that when you compile a list as well. So with that in mind, like I said, like, share, and subscribe. But there's also, if you're interested in the show, by all means, have a listen every Saturday morning, 12 to 2 a.m. on FM 98.5. And if you miss the show, which, like I said, hey, does happen, you can also try my website, visionsinsound.ca. You can find me on Blue Sky these days at visionsinsound.bsky.social, and you can also try you can also try GoodPods, a downloadable app for your phone or other type devices, and I can also be found on many of the other podcatchers out there, including the likes of Apple Music. So yeah, I do listen to other music other than soundtrack music. So with that in mind, get out there and listen to some fantastic music in general. There are some great musicians out there that are not necessarily under the regular stream of musicians that are out there, but also get out there and listen to some fantastic soundtracks, because there are composers out there that are worthy of your time. Have yourself a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
It's the end of an era. It's the end of an old age. And I cannot find my breath at all. In a dream I could fly through the echoes of past lives, as I watched each one succumb to